Okay, so I've pinned my video, so hopefully you have me as the main screen. All right, so go ahead and make yourselves comfortable. Sit all the way back in your chair and let your back relax against the seat behind you. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Do that twice more. Fill all the way up. And then just release. And one last deep breath in. And complete release out. Then bring one hand to the center of your chest and one hand onto your belly. Breathe naturally without trying to manipulate or control anything, and just feel the rise and fall of your belly and your chest into your hands. Feeling the movement that the body makes even when we are in stillness. We're never really still. There's always this beautiful ebb and flow, pulsation of life. You can feel the heartbeat. Release your hands to your lap. You can float your eyes open or keep them closed as you wish. And begin to roll your head around gently, making circles, warming up the little vertebrae in the neck and the muscles that run along the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. These get really tight in most of us, especially now that we're spending so much time on computers. Roll the other direction. And come right back to center. Turn to look over your right shoulder. Turn to look over your left shoulder. And turn back to center. Drop your chin towards your chest. Lift back up to neutral. And then lift your chin towards the ceiling. Be gentle. And back to center. Once again, turn to look over your right shoulder and then dip your chin down towards your collarbone. Make sure that the opposite shoulder is relaxed down. And come back to center. Look over the left. Drop your chin towards your collarbone. Relax the right shoulder. Relax the left shoulder. And come back to center. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears and release them down. And then one at a time, start to swing your shoulders back. We're going to spend some time today really working through all the major joints. We haven't seen each other in several weeks, so I don't know how much movement you have or haven't done, so we're going to really take some time here to work back into the body. Roll forward. And then take your arms out with your elbows soft and bent and just swim the arms back. And swim them forward. Reach your arms all the way up overhead and release them down to your lap. Warming up through the elbows, take your arms out in front of you and just make circles. Circles with your forearms. So you're rolling at the elbow joint, extending and flexing, and then go the other direction. Like you're waving pom-poms or a conductor's wand. And relax. Then make gentle fists with your hands and begin to roll the wrists out and really try to feel the full range of motion that's possible in your wrists as you move. Really flexing down, pulling them back, reverse directions. And then open and close your fingers a few times, curling in and out. Move slowly, really feel the joints as they curl and uncurl. And then take your right hand out in front of you, pull back at the finger so that you're stretching the palm and also across the wrist and maybe up into the forearm. You might feel that all the way up the arm. Flip the hand down, fingers pointing towards the ground, gently pull down so you're stretching across the top of the wrist and over across the top of the forearm. Let that go, give it a little shake. Other side. Press the left hand forward, pull back on the fingers, stretching the hand, the wrist, the forearm. I feel this all the way up to my elbow. And then press it down, fingertips to the ground, pressing gently on the hand to stretch out the wrist and the forearm. And then shake it out. Wiggle your fingers. Bring your hands together in a prayer shape. Press your elbows out to the sides and imagine dropping your hands towards the ground by staying connected through the entire palm. And then we're going to flip the fingers down to point down towards the ground. The backs of the hands come together. Try to keep the hands together all the way to the wrist and then drop the elbows slightly and lift the wrists slightly. It won't go very far, probably. Now we're going to roll that around as if you're rolling across the cuff of a long sleeve shirt. Rolling out the wrists. Rolling through the elbows. And then reverse directions. Good, let it go, shake it out. Sit a little further forward on your chair so you have some space. And then big, full range of motion arm circles, alternating sides. As far back as you can go, all the way down and around. And then we'll bring it forward, back and up and around. This is a nice stretch for the chest muscles, as well as a warm-up for the shoulder. And release your hands to your lap. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Sweep your arms all the way up overhead. And then reach your right hand down for the chair leg or the side of the seat and take a side bend over, left arm reaching overhead. Make sure that right shoulder isn't hiking up by your ear, but instead you've got space between the ear and the top of the shoulder. Keep reaching. And come back up, both arms reach high, deep breath in. And over to the other side, grab a hold for support, side bend. Breathe into the side of the rib cage there, opening up all those muscles that run along the side of the waist, all the way up your side to your fingertips. And back up to center, both arms reach high, deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. Turn your legs so that you are facing to the right, the knees pointing straight out, feet and ankles in line with knees. And then turn your body to face the back of your chair. So you're bringing your hands to the chair back and you're turning. So you're twisting through the torso, through the spine. Breathe deeply. Think about lengthening up through your whole spine as you turn, keeping a long, tall, straight seat. Come back, swivel all the way around to the other side, and turn towards the back of your chair. Sit tall, Lengthen through the crown of your head. Take a deep breath. Exhale, relax your shoulders as you turn. And make your way back to center. Take your hands to your knees. Breathing in, roll your shoulders back and lift your chest up. Breathe deeply and then exhale, curl everything in, rounding the spine back. Keep that movement going. It doesn't matter what your pace is, just be sure that you're riding the wave of your own breath. All right, so it could be fast, it could be slow, but tie the movement of the breath to the movement of your body. One more time. And then come back up to neutral. Pick up your right leg. You can hold it with one or both arms and roll the hip joint around. So you're going to make circles at the hip. Roll it around. Reverse directions. And then continue to hold your legs. You might interlace your fingers underneath your thigh for a good grip. And then hold it up in the air and make circles on the ground with your foot. So like you're circling around with the lower leg. So we're warming up the knee joint. Go the other direction. And then extend and flex. Doesn't have to come completely straight. Again, you're just warming up the joint, getting that synovial fluid moving through the joint capsule. And release that leg down. Go ahead and pick up the other leg and start to roll through the hip. So you're circling at the hip joint. And go the other direction. Hold your leg up in the air with that clasp of your hands underneath your thigh. Start to circle the lower leg. Go the other way. And then extend and flex through the knee. Again, it does not matter how far out or how far in you go. You're just getting some movement there of the joint. And release the leg. Sit tall. Pick up your right leg again. It doesn't have to come very high off the ground. We're going to roll through the ankle joint now. So just roll around through the ankle. Go the other direction. And then point your toes down towards the ground. Now peel your toes back towards your knee and imagine that you're pressing your heel towards the ground. And then let it go. Pick up the left leg, start to roll the ankle around. Go the other way. Point your toes towards the ground. Pull the toes up, point your heel towards the ground. And let it go. Draw your right knee up towards your chest. Pull it in as tight as you can, but try not to round or hunch forward. Sit tall, pull the knee in. Take a deep breath and let it go. Left leg, pull it up, lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath and let it go. Bring your arms overhead. Imagine that you're pressing the air up, like you're moving against resistance. Breathing in. Exhale, draw your hands down to the center of your chest. Breathe in, press your arms back up. Turn your palms out away from you and press the air down with resistance as you exhale. Okay, turn the palms up, breathe in. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, press the air away. Several more times like that. Inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press it away. Last time, breathe in, scoop it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press it away and bring your hands to your knees. Make sure that your feet are really well grounded. Feel your whole foot on the ground, both feet. And then press down into your feet and lift your tushy off the chair. Keep your knees bent. Stay here for a breath and press up to stand. Go ahead and go around to the back of your chair. I'm going to turn my chair sideways so that you have a better view of what's going on, but it doesn't matter which way your chair is facing. All right, as long as you're at the back of the chair. Step your right foot in fairly close to the back of the chair and step your left foot back. Pivot the whole left foot down to the ground. So the outer edge of the left foot is on the ground, and then bend your right knee. Make sure that you feel equal pressure in both feet. So not all your weight is coming forward into your right foot, but the weight is evenly distributed between right and left so that your torso is nice and tall, upright over your hips. Fingertips to the chair, or maybe the whole hand, depending on how high your chair is. And then lift through your left arm. Keep breathing. We're going to take another couple deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now we're going to open this up to the side. So I'm going to step back a little further with my left leg, open my hips and my torso to the side. Keep drawing the right knee open to the right so that it faces directly over the center of your foot. Try not to let that knee drop in towards the pinky toe, towards the big toe side, but instead keep drawing it open and then open up through the left arm. So you're in Warrior Two. So we were in Warrior One. We've now opened up into Warrior Two. Couple more breaths. Deep breath in and out. And again, a breath in and a breath out. Lean forward, take your either your forearm to the back of the chair or hold on with your hand and just bend your elbow. Bring your left arm straight up overhead. And then if you have the space in the shoulder, the freedom of movement, you could bring that arm all the way over by your ear. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep it straight up or sort of anywhere along the line there. So here, think about spinning your rib cage forward towards me or wherever you're facing. You want to spin it sideways. Find that nice long line in the side body. Try not to crunch too much in the waist, but instead keep both sides of the waist long. Pressure in the outer edge of the left foot as well as into the right foot. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Bring your left hand to your hip. Straighten through your right leg. So if you have your forearm on the chair and you have the space, you might stay that low. If that doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. Come up higher. Still keep a little lean forward of your torso. All right, so anywhere along that level is fine. All the way down or higher. Reach back up through the left arm. We're in triangle pose. Make sure that you feel your feet connecting with the ground. Imagine hugging your kneecaps up so that you're engaging the thigh muscles, the fronts of the thighs. And then press back up, rebend the front knee. You're back in that Warrior Two shape. Take a deep breath. Release the breath. Bring your left hand back to the back of the chair. Step forward and stand tall. Pause here for a moment. Let your body absorb all that work. And then walk your feet back away from the back of the chair until you come into your approximation of an L shape, all right? So legs as straight as you can, they certainly can bend. Spine as straight as you can. Try not to have too much rounding in your back, but instead more extension. So it's a big stretch for the shoulders, the spine, the sides of the waist. Take a deep breath. Walk back in. I'm going to turn my chair around for the second side so I don't have my back facing you for the whole second side, but you don't need to change as long as you can still see the camera okay. All right, so now you're going to have your left foot in front and you'll step your right foot back, pivot that whole foot down. Again, you're sealing not only the big toe to the ground, but the outer edge of the right foot as well. And then bend into the left knee, but instead of leaning forward, have your shoulders back over your hips so that you feel pressure down through the back foot as well as through the front foot, both sides equally. And then lift your right arm up. 3 deep breaths, inhaling, exhaling. It doesn't have to match my pace, but go as slowly as you can. 1 more, breathe in and breathe out. Now we're gonna open this warrior 1 shape into warrior 2. So step back a little further with the right foot, turn the toes out maybe a little bit, open your torso towards the side, extend the right arm back. You still got a nice deep bend in that front knee. Again, do be sure that that knee isn't dropping in towards your big toe. All right, that's a little stressful on the ligaments on the inside of the knee, but instead pull the knee back towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Make the outer hip muscles work slightly to pull that knee open. And we're going to stay for another couple breaths here. You're working hard through the legs, and you're also strengthening through the upper back and the shoulder. Deep breath in and out. Lean forward. Again, you can come down a little, you can come down a lot. You can take your whole forearm to the chair leg if you like. Top arm, you decide. Straight up might be plenty. If you already feel a pull on the side of your waist, you may not want to go any further. But if you have the space, take that arm over your ear, making a long diagonal line from your fingertips to your back outer edge of your foot. Think about spinning the rib cage open. Both sides of the waist long, not just the right side, the left side as well. Make sure that you're not hunching your shoulders up by your ears, but instead you're pressing them gently away, creating space for your neck. Another breath. And then straighten through the left leg. Again, you can stay low if you've got the space, or you can lift up higher, but do keep a slight lean forward. This is triangle pose, top arm reaching up towards the ceiling. So you want to feel some amount of stretch in the inner thigh, not too much. You don't want to feel like you're pulling your muscles, but a gentle stretch is fine. Keep breathing. Pressing strongly through the feet, hugging your kneecaps up to engage your quadricep muscles on the front of the thighs. And then reach up, press up, rebend the front knee, extending out through the right arm again. You're back in warrior 2. Take a deep breath. Right hand comes back to the chair, step forward. This time sit down as if you were sitting into a chair. Bending your knees, sinking your seat back. Draw your belly in gently to support the whole shape. Take a few deep breaths. 1 more. Press up, stand tall, relax for a moment. And once again, walk back into that L shape, where it's like a supported downward facing dog. You can bend your knees. You might even bend your knees to find that long line in your spine, and then try to re-straighten them. Again, don't push too much. You don't want to feel like you're stressing the ligaments, the attachments up here at the top of the hamstrings into the tush, but you do want to feel a gentle stretch in the back of the leg. Nothing too intense. Keep your breath moving, lengthening the spine, lengthening through the armpit area, the sides of the waist. One more breath. And then walk your way back in towards the chair. Stand tall. Take a deep breath in. And out. Okay, we're going to work on some balancing poses. So once again, walk back towards that L shape. And then reach your right leg back behind you. Come to the big toe. Just have the big toe on the ground. From here, begin to lift the leg up behind you. It might not go very far, right? Just a few inches, maybe as much as a foot. That's fine. Try to keep your weight even in your hands. Try not to lean too much to one side or the other. Place that foot back down, stretch the left leg back, big toe on the ground, find that even weight, and then lift the leg off the ground. Again, it just might be a little bit. It doesn't have to come up real high. Place the foot back down, walk back in, stand tall. Now, walk your feet back just a little bit, just a few inches. All right, press firmly into your left foot. You can even have a little bend in the left knee and pick up your right foot. Now begin to tip forward. You might bend at the elbows and push that right leg out behind you. So similar shape, but perhaps that leg is lifted a little bit higher now. Lift it as high as you can. Feel the working of the back of the thigh and your buttock muscles. Your low back is working. Your arms are even working to support your weight. Step forward, stand tall, take a breath. And then stand well into your right foot. You might again have a little bend in the knee, a little softness, and lift your left leg up. Tip forward, press back. Try to have your weight even in your arms between right and left. Keep breathing. Step it forward, stand tall. Take a deep breath in. And a breath out. Walk back a little further, not quite as far as your L, but a little bit further. Press into your left foot, lift your right leg, press it back behind you. Tip forward. Take a deep breath. As you breathe out, curl your knee in towards your chest. Scoop your belly in. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, scoop it in. Breathing in to press back. Breathing out to curl in. And release the foot. Walk back in. Take a break before we move to the second side. And then walk back. So you're in a slight forward tilt from the hips. Press into your right foot. Lift the left leg. Press it back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl knee to nose. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, curl in. You're using your bellies and your hip flexor muscles. Inhaling, exhaling, step it down, and stand tall. Now turn sideways to the back of the chair. And I've got my left foot and left hand on the chair. It doesn't matter which side you're on because we'll just switch sides. All right, so whichever hand and leg is next to the chair, that's your standing leg. So press into your standing leg, lift the opposite heel, and then lift that knee up to approximately hip height. Okay, just hold here. Extend your arm out by your side. Keep breathing. Replace the leg, replace the arm. Now step into the leg that was lifted, not the leg next to the chair, the opposite one. Step into that leg and lift the leg that's next to the chair. Now lift the opposite arm, not the one holding the chair. Turn towards your bent knee. See if you can bring your top hand to the outside of the bent knee. So you're in a standing balanced twist. And then unwind and place the foot down. So we're gonna switch sides. So rather than me turning my back to you again, I'm gonna move my chair instead. Just make sure that you have switched sides, all right? So we'll begin by pressing into the standing leg, which is this leg next to the chair. Lift the opposite knee up, hip height. Find your steadiness, find your balance. Belly gently drawing in. And then extend your arm out, straight out from the shoulder. Just breathe. It's a lot of work for the hip flexors, for the shoulder, all kinds of things going on here. Just breathe. And release. Press into that leg. Lift the one that's next to the chair up hip height. Lift the opposite arm up into the air. Take a breath. Turn towards your bent knee. Bring your hand to the outside of the knee and turn towards that leg. Come back to center. Release it. Give it a little wiggle, little shake. Unwind. Now we're going to try to stretch out the front of the thigh. And this may be not accessible for all of you. Do your best, all right? So I know that not all of you are able to flex the knee that deeply, especially if you've had knee surgery, it may be difficult. But I'm gonna do this for those who can do it. So press into the leg that's standing next to the chair and lift the knee that's away from the chair. Reach down and grab the front of your ankle or shin. Draw that knee back so that it is as much as possible in line with the standing leg knee, all right? Stand tall. So this may be a lot of sensation to stretch for you already. If you need more, think about drawing the knee back and pressing the hip forward. Take another breath and then release it. We're gonna turn around. I'm not gonna switch my chair this time. I'm gonna turn my back to you. So we're gonna do the opposite leg. So press down into the leg that you bent before, lift the opposite, reach down for your ankle, draw the knee back. Try to have it even, pretty much parallel with the standing leg knee, and draw your heel up. Press your knee back and your hip forward if you need more sensation. Release it, and come to stand, just kind of shake it out, take a breath, and let go. All right, we're gonna come back to sit now. So find a comfortable seat. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Hold the sides of the chair for support. Try to keep your spine long and tip forward from the crease of your hips. So rather than bending through the spine, bending at the waist, instead I'm going to ask you to tip forward from the crease of the hips. It's going to help you find a little bit more stretch along the back of the right leg. Pull the toes back towards your kneecap, lean forward. Come back up, slide it back, extend the left leg. Lean forward, try to keep the spine long and extended, toes pulling towards knee. And come back up. Extend the right leg again, Lean forward. This time, try to point your toes towards the ground. If you can even touch the ground with your toes, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. And come back up. Other side. Reach out, point your toes, lean forward. Come back up and release. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. Sit tall. Decide if this is enough for you. You don't need more at the hip. If you do need more, lean forward. Again, trying to keep a long line rather than too much flexion. Flexion at the spine is fine, but it's not going to do a whole lot to stretch your outer hip. So if you keep the spine long and tip from the hip crease, you'll get a lot more stretch in the outer hip. Come back up, cross that leg all the way over the left leg. Squeeze your shins towards each other, turn towards the right leg, and get your hand outside the leg. So there's a little bit of leverage. As you turn, you can kind of pull the leg over and resist away from it. You might feel a stretch in the outer hip. I do for sure today. I did a lot of work on the outer hips a couple days ago, and I'm very sore. So this is actually a really great stretch for me today. Come back to center and then unwind that, and we'll cross the left ankle over the right knee. Sit tall. Again, you can decide this might be plenty. Or you can tip forward, trying again to keep the spine long, reaching just from the hip creases as if you were closing a book or a door hinge. And sit tall. Wrap that thigh all the way over, squeezing together at the shins, turning and drawing some leverage at the knee joint. Pull it over at the thigh or the knee, and then resist away as you twist. And come back to center. Unwind, interlace your fingers together, take a breath, inhale, press them forward, exhale, round your spine and press them even further forward. Inhale, sit tall, arms reach overhead. Exhale, press it out, round your spine. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, press it out. Release your hands, sit tall. And again, we're going to come back to those sun breaths where you feel like you're sort of pressing the air away. So resisting against this imaginary pressure of air all the way up, drawing the hands down through the center of the heart. Breathing in to stretch up, turn the palms around, press the air away, resist out and down. Again, scoop it up, come center, inhale up, and press it away. Bring your hands to your thighs. You might lean directly over your thighs for a gentle forward bend. If you would like to come deeper, you might separate your feet a bit and come all the way down and slide your hands down to your ankles. So it's up to you. You could stay up higher, you could come down lower. Find the forward bend that suits you. Unroll, back up, sitting tall. Sit your hips all the way back to the back of the chair. Bring your feet back under your knees. Relax back, soften your shoulders. Close your eyes. Relax everything that you can relax. Soften the muscles in your face. Soften the little muscles around your mouth, around your eyes. Even your tongue, your jaw. Let your breath be a natural, soft breath, unforced. Just feel the movement of breath and the beating of your heart, nothing else. All the thoughts that flit across our field of consciousness, just notice them, but don't engage if possible. We never stop thinking. That's the nature of the mind. You can't have a completely quiet mind. That's not the way that we work. But we can detach from engagement with the thoughts. We can sit back and be the witness. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Begin to draw your shoulders back over your hips, pulling your back away from the back of the chair. Sitting tall. Weight directly over your sitting bones. Spine balanced over your hips. Head balanced over your spine. Shoulders relaxed. Go ahead and float your eyes open. Once again, scoop the air with your hands, sweeping your arms up overhead. Bring them right down to the center of your chest and connect your thumbs into your breastbone and lift your breastbone right up into the prayer of your hands. We'll end with a little bow to each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. It's nice to be back. Happy fall. And for those of you celebrating the Jewish New Year, I believe it's next weekend. Happy New Year. You can unmute yourselves